First way you roll hot in a negative reality world is you stand tall. Okay, you stand tall. I'm listening and I'm observing Christians who are, for some reason, making their highest aim to scrunch down, not stand tall. It's like, keep your head down, keep your mouth shut, just don't rock the boat. To which Paul would say, why? Why? Silence in the face of evil is to participate and perpetuate that evil. Why would you keep your head down when God calls us to stick our head up? Verse 1, Paul looked straight at the Sanhedrin and said, my brothers. Now, you realize at any point in time in the next 6 chapters, Paul could have exited stage right and he would have lived a long, happy life. At no point does he go like across the line of no return where it's like, well, it's over now. Multiple times in the next 6 chapters, off ramp, off ramp, off ramp. All he's got to do is cave a little. All he's got to do is compromise just a little. All he's got to do is be willing to just sit down and shut up, and we could make this thing go away. But he realizes that one of the tactics of the enemy in the negative world is to make you think that you'll be happier if you shut up, and to make you think that the easier road of compromise is the better road, and to make you think that appeasement is the godly way. I mean, we're just watching like the Chamberlain doctrine roll out in the church. You know the Chamberlain doctrine, don't you? World War II, Chamberlain is like, oh, Hitler's not that big a deal. He's a good guy. I just had dinner with him a few weeks ago. I mean, Hitler is lying to Chamberlain's face. Chamberlain is either just woefully ignorant or intentionally ignorant. He's either utterly naive and stupid, or he's like, if I acknowledge who he really was, I'd have to do something about it, and I don't want to have to do something about it, so I'm just going to pretend he's a good guy. That's how the Christians often are treating what Satan is doing in our culture today, right now. So much so, Hitler was so underestimated that military experts in Paris are looking at him going, you know what? We've got 4 months, maybe 5 months before Hitler shows up. The next week, Nazi tanks are rolling by the Eiffel Tower, the Blitzkrieg. The Blitzkrieg of Hitler, shooting youth full of cocaine, running across Europe. Like, that's what Satan's doing right now. Satan is running so hard, covering so much ground. Things are changing so fast. It was a different world we lived in 3 years ago. There was a different world from I go back and look at sermons I preached 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and some are aging well because it's the Word of God, and some are like, that's just irrelevant anymore because we lived in a different world in 2015, in 2014, in 2013. So there's a demonic blitzkrieg running across our country, and pastors that I talk with, I know I'm talking about pastors a lot, but pastors are trying to figure it out. They're like, what is going on? Why want people to come to church? Why do I get shot at all the time? How come I'm not Mr. Nice Guy anymore? How come no one likes me in my community anymore? And pastors are struggling with like what this means. And it's like, guys, you're in Paris thinking Hitler won't be there for another 5 months. He's in your streets. You have to speed up your spiritual, ecclesiological, missiological OODA loop and figure this out. I'm learning things about myself. Nothing bothers me more than someone insisting that it's peacetime as bullets whiz past their head. It's like we are at war, and Paul knows exactly what he's doing. And Paul could have kept his head down, and Paul could have taken the appeasement route because they were demanding that he lay down his sword. And Paul could have easily said things that would have brought the temperature down and opened the door for his release. And instead, he's rolling hot. So how do you live in a negative world reality? You got to be willing to roll hot by standing tall, unashamed, unapologetic, unequivocating. You stand tall. Number 2, you shoot straight. Look at the text. Paul looked straight at the Sanhedrin. He's not muttering. He's not kicking his shoes. He's not like apologizing. He knows exactly what he's saying and who he's saying it to. He looked straight at the Sanhedrin and he said, "My brothers, I have fulfilled my duty to God." The word there, my duty, is the same word that we get politics from. And he's essentially saying, like I am fulfilling my civilian, my civic duty to God. I'm faithfully living out my heavenly citizenship before you, and I'm not going to compromise what he's told me to do and what he's told me to say. So I'm going to deliver the goods again, and you are going to have to deal with it. What I love about Paul's approach is that Paul never carried the burden of proof to defend Jesus. Paul's always putting it on them to go, no, you defend your rebellion. You defend your rejection of Jesus. You defend your false interpretation of the law. You defend your self-righteousness. You defend your legalism. You defend why you are rejecting the one that God sent. He's never on the defensive. He is always fighting downhill. He is always on the offensive. He's standing tall. He's shooting straight. Number 3, look what he's doing. He punches back. And this is what I just love. Paul looked straight at the Sanhedrin. He said, my brothers, I have fulfilled my duty to God in all good conscience to this day. At this, the high priest Ananias ordered those standing near Paul to strike him in the mouth. Now, this is where, like, soft, woke, panty-waist pastors would come along and say, well, we just need to turn the other cheek. Because if they're going to punch us, well, then we need to show the love of Jesus. Paul never got that message because Paul said to him, God will strike you down, you like dirtbag worm. I mean, he said he's whitewashed. Well, they used to whitewash tombs to get the stink out, and they used to whitewash tombstones. He's literally calling them dead men, rotting men, men who represent the stench of death. I mean, it's an absolute insult. He's not playing softball here. He's throwing darts, and he says to them, God will strike you, you whitewashed wall. You sit there to judge me according to the law, yet you yourself violate the law by commanding that I be struck. Paul's not rolling over. Paul's not apologizing. He's using logic and rhetorical skills and the law to punch back. And pastors and Christians and churches are going to have to get a stomach for what it means to walk the line of being in the world but not of the world, of loving Jesus and loving people, of turning the other cheek when necessary and punching back when necessary. And you hear, I'm not saying you go around physically punching people. Like you're catching this, right? It's like, no. Like don't be afraid to stand and smile and say, you whitewash wall. You are violating the very law that you say you represent. Man, we could have used Paul in Washington 4 years ago, couldn't we? I mean, people are like, what are you doing? It's like we're trying to follow Paul as Paul followed Jesus. And what he did was he held people in authority and power to the rule of law they pretended to represent. And Paul here is standing tall, shooting straight, and punching back when in their hypocrisy and irony, they're using the law to abuse innocent people. Paul's like, I haven't been judged. There's been no trial. There's been no evidence. There's been wild, blanket, sweeping, baseless accusations. And on those basis of that, you would have me physically marred here in court? Paul's like, I will not have that. Paul's rolling hot. You feeling it? Hey, everybody. Hope you found that helpful. If you would like to watch the sermon that clip came from, you can go here, check it out. As well, if you'd like to watch more Bible teaching, you can go to my YouTube channel. And if you would like more free resources for your family, your marriage, and how to be a stronger man, you can go to strongmannation.com. Check it out.